Welcome, everybody.
Hey, hey.
Work smarter where you want.
This is learning at its most fun.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining another new partner spotlight. This month, we have Snappy Kraken with us. With me today, I have Angel Gonzalez, the co-founder and CMO. For those of you who aren't familiar with Snappy Kraken, they provide a ready-made digital marketing experience for the financial advisor. So they're going to help you kind of with those leads and those prospects and kind of nurturing them all the way through with their platform. Thank you for joining me, Angel.
Hey, thanks for having me, Jonathan. We're really excited about this.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a refreshing take on marketing. I love your guys' interface. The whole theme is just awesome. Very excited to bring you guys on board. So with that, I'm gonna just go ahead and hand it over to you, and let's jump in and see what you guys have to offer.
All right, fantastic. Thanks so much, Jonathan. Hey, and thanks everybody for joining. So we're really excited about this integration partnership. We're really excited about this webinar. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be giving you a high-level demo. I'm going to share my screen in just a second. So I'm going to give you a high-level demo, show you a little bit of how Snappy Kraken works and what it does for you, why it exists. That way you can see for yourself if it's going to be a fit within your practice. And we'll also talk about the integration, the brand new integration that we have with Redtail. We're looking forward to it being one of many different iterations, one of many different upcoming versions. And yeah, we'll end with a little bit of Q&A and any additional information that would be helpful to everybody here. In fact, if you stay to the end, I have a nice offer that just put together regarding our membership plan. So be sure to stick around for that. So let me share my screen with you for a second. And I want to set the tone here. So we're ready-made automated marketing platform strictly for financial advisors. And regardless of whatever baggage you may have with automated marketing, with digital marketing, there are elements that we have built into our system by design to not only help us stand out and help us differentiate ourselves, but to help you differentiate yourself, to help you stand out.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
I am not able to see your screen. Are you able to share?
Oh, I'm going to share it right now. That was just that was my mini prelude to what I was going into here.
It was good.
I appreciate it, Jonathan. Thanks for watching out.
Yep.
All right, so let me share my screen with you right now. All right. See my screen?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Let me move my Zoom controls out of the way here. So what I'm showing you right now is a landing page. And it is strictly made for lead gen. So I just want you to imagine that a prospect of yours saw an ad on Facebook that had eye-catching imagery. It had text that said, find out the 6 hidden tax saving opportunities opened up by new tax rules. Click here. Or imagine that an unresponsive or stale prospect on your email list receives an email tomorrow morning, and that email talks to them about the benefits and about hidden tax saving opportunities, and has a link to this landing page that is strictly made for lead gen, that has your logo, that has your contact info, that has a big bold call to action to fill out a form in order to download this guide. Now, I'm not going to walk you through the whole process here, but just imagine that they do opt in, they do fill out that form, they do download that guide. Oftentimes, we've heard a big pain point with advisors is, hey, I'll meet somebody at a networking event, or I generate a lead, and then everything falls apart in the follow-up. Maybe I send out one email, or I make one phone call, it reaches a voicemail, and then nothing, zilch after that. So we've addressed that head on. So from this landing page, I want you to imagine that you have additional prospects in your email list, and you plug them into an email nurture sequence that lasts for 8 weeks. And once a week, every week for 8 weeks, that prospect receives an email from you, and it talks about the benefits of working with you. It highlights a couple different themes, and one might be retirement, the other one might be approaching finances holistically, the other one might be just the client advisor relationship. Now imagine that at the conclusion of those 8 weeks, hopefully you've warmed up this prospect. They know a little bit more about you. At the conclusion of the 8 weeks, there's a call to action in one of those emails to fill out a quick form, a meeting request form. Again, it's branded with your logo. It asks pertinent questions, not too much, not too little, in order to help tee up a conversation, an engagement between you and that prospect. Now let's fast forward. Let's fast forward to you having a brand new client. Oftentimes, this is where some advisors fall. They put in a lot of work to get a brand new client, and then there's not so much engagement in those first 3 months, which are absolutely critical in setting the tone for the relationship and how the relationship is going to go after that. Now imagine that you had a system you could plug in brand new clients so that they receive emails over the course of the next 90 days, welcoming them into your practice, welcoming them as new clients. So just imagine that there's this first email here. This is just a brief note to let you know how excited we are to have you as a new client. We're not able to accept everyone into our client family, but having the privilege to work with people like you is what makes what we do so rewarding. Now, just imagine that you don't have to put much thought into sending this email and keeping track of the next email that needs to go out. And just imagine at the very end of those 90 days that there's a survey that asks that client, how are we doing so far? And that there's actually a built-in mechanism in that survey to help generate a referral. Now let's fast forward a little bit more. Imagine that you have your clients, you have a list of prospects, and you want to just send out information to them regularly. You want to help engage with them. You want to help entertain them if you can. How are you going to do that? What system do you have in place to do that? Now imagine that they receive an email or see social media posts that cover a range of different topics. Here's a specific one: retiring abroad. And just imagine that it's all branded for you. It's optimized for sharing on social, for sharing via email. This would be an engagement piece for current clients or prospects, just people on your contact list. But just imagine that it has all these other opportunities for these people to share information about you with their friends, with their family, other people who can land on this page. And if they're interested enough to hear more, they can actually sign up, at these forms here. So what I've just given you is the end product. I kind of started in the middle of all of the action. So the next question here is, how do we get here? How do we get into lead gen and prospect nurturing and client engagement and client onboarding and overall list engagement? Well, let me show you our platform here. So what we have on Snappy Kraken, we break down all of our campaigns. First off, everything that I just showed you prior to showing you this window takes into account the journey that someone may be on in working with you, where they go from a stranger to a prospect to someone who knows a little bit more about you and to someone who engages a bit more with you, becomes a client, and then can eventually become a raving fan or someone who refers more business to you. So what we believe is that you have to do this thoughtfully. You have to engineer it. You have to take into account the fact that there is a journey. And basically what we define as a campaign is just an orchestrated series of steps that helps move a person from one stage in that journey to the other. So when you think about that modern client journey and how it relates to our platform, we have everything broken down by objectives. So what I have just shown you, those would be correlated with some of these objectives here, whether that's attracting new leads, motivating existing prospects, engaging clients, increasing client referrals, or even automating operational workflows. So I'm going to jump into one of these specifically. I'm going to jump into a series called the Visual Insights newsletter. On our platform, you can think of it as a marketing campaign marketplace where our campaigns are packaged together. They're made into a neat little product, and they're put right on our platform where all of our members have access to them. Hold on one second. Let me take a drink of water here. All right, so we're on one of these pages specifically, and this is under the goal of either increasing client referrals, engaging prospects, or engaging clients. Every single campaign that you get to on our system, you can read more about it, you can see an explainer video, and to make things even easier, we submit our campaigns to FINRA for review. And whether you're beholden to a compliance department or not, we know that it just gives our members a peace of mind knowing that we did the due diligence of writing this content, putting it all together, but also submitting it to FINRA for review. So if I click over here under these preview images, I'm going to show you a quick diagram of what's involved in this campaign. And right after that, I'm going to show you how it comes together and how you can actually compress the 6 to 8 weeks that it would take to turn around a campaign like this and actually do it all on our platform, all on the same day. And it really just takes moments to review and approve and put together. So this is a quick diagram. This particular campaign is part of an engagement series. It has a landing page. It has promotional elements. There are 4 emails. You'll see the timing right here. There's also social media posts. You can integrate your social media platforms, so Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And there's a confirmation page along with a confirmation email. And yep, even a follow-up email, because we find that not everybody is going to respond to just the first confirmation or just one email. It really is important to play these numbers and actually follow up. Let me exit out of here. So this campaign, it's already within the inventory within my account. But as you're going through here and you're choosing a campaign, there would be a button down here towards the bottom that would say personalize this campaign. Once you do that, it gets added to your inventory. And what you see next is a timeline of that campaign. You can jump into each element individually. And yes, we even allow you to customize aspects of the campaign. If you find that something isn't quite in your voice or there's something that you just disagree with a little bit, you can actually edit that and then save it. Let me show you how this works. So here's the landing page. This is actually this page right here that I just reviewed with you. And we're going to jump in and take a quick look at the content. I can see the title. There's a financial lesson in every single one of our Visual Insights newsletters. I can actually highlight some of these. I can link them. If I need to change around the disclosures, I can. All of this is already pulled from my profile. So once this is up to your liking, you hit save. That saves that element, and then you can preview the actual landing page. And I won't go through the entire timeline here. This is just to give you that broad overview of how rather than paying tens of thousands of dollars to an agency to brainstorm, ideate, research, create, and code an entire campaign for you, this platform already has campaigns that are ready for you that are broken down by goals for you. So as you'll see, there's the promotional emails. This one has an image within it that actually clicks through to that landing page. it pulls in all the information from your profile on the system. I'll keep going down here. There's the social media posts. They all have custom images. They all have custom copy. And as I said before, all the campaigns are submitted to FINRA for review, and you can actually export a PDF for your records or to submit that to compliance. And once you go through a campaign and you get down to the bottom of the timeline, you can just hit the launch button. This one's already running because I'm just shortening the time here, but there's a launch button that allows you to select a scheduler, and it lets you select a date and a time, and you can hit launch and that campaign will go out. So remember when I showed you the diagram here, these are all the deliverables. So when you go through and you edit this campaign, for instance, and you hit launch, it will publish a landing page. It will start to coordinate and schedule these communications, so emails and social media posts, and it will automatically trigger any confirmation emails or any confirmations or follow-ups. So how do we get those emails to and social media posts to go out? So first off, you will connect those to your account profile. You'll connect your social media profiles, and you can connect your email, your DNS, so that emails will actually come from your domain and not a placeholder domain. I can jump into more of that or address some of that in the Q&A just a bit. And every single campaign, because we're big on tracking metrics and tracking ROI for you, there's actually a dashboard on our system that shows you the emails that have been sent, the forms that have been submitted, the social posts that have gone out, shows you your all-time usage on a global level, and also shows you activities from individual contacts. So these are visitors who visited my landing page. If it had been anyone on my list, John Smith, for instance, it would actually show John Smith's activity. It would show John Smith visited the retiring abroad landing page. Jane Smith clicked on the promotional email one, and you can actually go through and break down your dashboard and actually see the metrics on any individual campaign that you happen to be running. And this shows you recent campaign activity. So we're experimenting with our campaigns. We have different test data. We have fake names that we've added to our system, and this actually shows, these emails have been going out on these dates. And again, I can break down the activity by emails and social media posts as well, and by date. So I'm going to jump a little bit further into the account here to actually talk about the Redtail integration. So we know that marketing is really, really tough, especially digital marketing, if you don't have a CRM at the center of your business, a CRM where you're collecting client information, prospect information, so that you can do the appropriate outreach. So our Redtail integration is very simple. I already connected it on my account. I believe I may have let me see if this comes up here. It's really just two fields. You jump into your account settings, you add your username and your password, and then that just arms the Redtail account, and that gets Redtail and Snappy Kraken communicating with each other. And the reason why that is important is because on the back end, when you go into your contacts, this allows you to just bring in, it allows you to sync a group, whatever groups you have on Redtail, with our system so that you can add these people to particular campaigns. So I'm going to go into the manage groups. I've already brought over the two Redtail groups. I had a client group and a prospect group. And the way I did that was in my groups, I can actually choose to import all Redtail groups. If you happen to have A, AA, AAA clients, if you have a nuanced breakdown of how you have your clients in Redtail, you can bring them all over into your Snappy Kraken account, excuse me. Or you can pick and choose and actually select one by one which Redtail groups you want to bring in. And the reason why this has been so important for us is because we've had many advisors since we started asking us, hey, do you integrate with any CRMs? I want to be able to just easily export and import what I've collected over the years into your system. So we're happy to announce that this is basically version 1 of what this integration is, and we definitely have a list of different advances and different features that we want to build on top of that. So the reason why I'm showing you this and why this is so important when it comes to importing groups from Redtail into your system is because when you decide to launch a campaign, I'm going to go ahead and just pull up some of my active lists here. It just makes it that much easier to subscribe contacts to individual campaigns. I'm going to go into that retiring abroad campaign. So what you had just seen there was a running list of the different campaigns that I have on the system. So we've just imported our Redtail groups, and now I go, hey, you know what? I have this Visual Insights newsletter, retiring abroad. I want my prospects or I want my clients to receive email promos related to this campaign. I would go into Manage Groups. And now that I've imported my handy dandy groups from Redtail, I can just click on those 2 groups there, hit save, and I just give that a few seconds. And now the contacts, the prospects and clients that I had in either of those groups respectively have now been subscribed to this campaign. It's going to start delivering emails to them, driving them to that informational page, and I'll be able to see their activity on this dashboard as I go on.
Thanks so much for joining us today for this particular session. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to give us a call at 800-206-5030, option 3 for support, or just shoot us an email over to support@redtailtechnology.com. Thanks a lot and have a great day.